All right. What were you saying about? I think you were saying NXT, right?
NXT, what's happening
Tonight, yeah, it's just two matches, right?
that's what they
Right.
more two matches, but
Well, yeah, because it's more than an hour now.
they're having Cole and Finn open the show with like no commercial interruptions, or maybe it's limited. I think it's no commercial interruptions. Combat the 8 o'clock hour.
Right.
Because AEW always wins like in the beginning. So that means speculation is that the main event is going to be Baszler versus Ripley. I think, this is just my opinion, that Rhea Ripley is going to win the belt tonight.
I think Rhea is going to take it tonight.
Last show before the new year. Yup, it's going to happen. And at the exact same time that the Finn Cole match is happening to start NXT tonight, you have, hold on, they have this thing going between Hangman Page and Kenny Omega now. I think they're building towards, because they're like teaming up, but like Kenny, or not Kenny, yeah, Kenny hit the V trigger on somebody last week, and Adam Page blind tagged himself in, hit the buckshot lariat, and got the win for the team. And then Kenny was looking around like, what the fuck? And kind of had it all, taken care of. So I think they're going to be building towards that. So, while Finn and Cole is happening, with no commercial interruptions, AEW has confirmed the Lucha Brothers versus Kenny Omega and Adam Page to open their show with no commercial breaks.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
All right. So after we do all the other stuff, we'll talk about that before we do our top five.
yeah, sometimes I feel we don't talk enough about AEW. Not that I watch it more than NXT, because I don't.
Right. But we definitely need to talk about it, especially tonight because it's big.
Yep. And the Young Bucks versus SCU for the AEW World Tag Team titles will likely be the headliner of the show. Awesome Kong versus to be announced. Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin versus the Butcher and Blade. Chris Statlander versus Britt Baker in a championship match for the AEW Women's Championship. Chris Jericho versus Jungle Boy non-title 10-minute time limit match, which is Jericho's last appearance before the end of the year. And the aforementioned Young Bucks versus SCU.
The following program is an exclusive Disruption Networks production.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broken everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up DisruptionNetwork.net and check out our events calendar, brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at DisruptionNetwork.net.
Wrestle Fandom Radio
Radio, Disruption Network, Stu Garrett rated R. ZB on the set first, Utica, New York. Them CNY wrestling fans giving you results like attendance. Heads are in the stands, rumors in advance. Who's returning, who got injured? We're paying homage to the legends, knowing through the tenure. I had to spit it on wax, we give opinions and facts. All the latest updates, who was getting the strap, who was getting pushed, who was heating, who was cheating, who got buried for a top spot and who was leaving. What you think of TNA, what you think of the E? Who's the best in Ring of Honor, who's in NXT? Also Lucha Underground and New Japan Pro, AAA in Mexico, you know this is the fan show. We do this for the love and show it locally. This is what a wrestling podcast's supposed to be. Disruption Networks, Wrestle Fandom Radio, reviewing the pay-per-views, talk about your favorite show, hear about who made the news, latest on the internet, what's a shooter, what's a work, who's the champ's biggest threat. Disruption Networks, Wrestle Fandom Radio, reviewing the pay-per-views, talk about your favorite show, hear about who made the news, latest on the internet, what's a shooter, what's a work, who's the champ's biggest threat. Do you hate Roman Reigns? Who's the best in the Shield? Will John Cena eventually end up turning the heel? We Young Bucks and Bullet Club, and I'm signing with Vince.
Hello.
Hello.
It's Garrett.
I'm Stu.
It's Stu.
It's me.
And this is Disruption Network.
It is.
You are watching Wrestle Fandom Radio.
Uh-huh.
The greatest podcast
What?
you've never heard. So, what's up, Stu? How's it going?
It's going. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. I am doing all right.
Better.
Let's see. Lots going on right now. Lots going on. This is a big show. It's the last show of the year.
It is. And
Because we got Christmas, we got New Year's.
we still got Buffalo Bills football to be played, baby.
Oh, we still got Buffalo Bills football to be played.
Because they made the playoffs, baby.
That's right, baby. That's right. Mm-hmm.
I just had to get that out there.
Yeah, why not? Hey, we're both Bills fans. Let's do it.
Yes.
Big show. We're going to be calling Johnny Moran himself the Dark Horse. So, but before that, there's just a couple things I want to touch on. I mean, I think later on we should definitely talk about this whole NXT AEW thing. Oh, Kate says nice gloves.
Oh, thank you, Kate. I appreciate that.
We'll get to that.
Thank you for being you.
Our top 5 tonight, because last week we were negative Nancy's and started off with the worst things that happened in 2019.
Get it all out of the system, baby.
It's going to be the best things that happened, not to be confused with a more individualized thing that we'll do
After the new year. So we can really look at 2019 as a whole in wrestling. So before we call Johnny, I would like to show the video of what happened at the last show at Ring Wars. Now, like I said, I was trying to pull double duty. Things got a little hectic. And one person approached me before I had to go sit down. So I thought I'd try and get an interview. And you know what? I'll just show it. And Yes, show us the evidence.
you guys can see what happened. So. Garrett here from Wrestle Fandom Radio. I am joined by Ataxia's own Coffin. Coffin, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing all right for now, but let me say, I'm here for a reason, Garrett. See, now, King came up to me and said I needed to apologize to you for what happened at the last show, where, I said a few bad words and tossed you out of the room, and I was going to tell him to shove it, but Bishop, being the president and a great politician, said, you know what, show everybody that we're not just bad guys. So, Garrett, I'm sorry.
I appreciate that.
I'm not done. You want an apology? I'm going to give you an apology. All right? So, Garrett, from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're an idiot. I'm sorry that I said a couple of bad words and your feelings got hurt and you couldn't take it like a man. I'm sorry you got a face like a possum. I'm sorry that you couldn't realize on your own that you've overstayed your welcome, forcing me to toss you like a damn rag doll. And if you ever run to King again, saying that I hurt your feelings or put my hands on you, son, I will take this flagpole, turn you into some kind of weird stick puppet, and I'm sure I'll be sorry about that too. Apology accepted? Are we done here? Get to stepping.
Yeah, we're done.
Get to stepping. You need an apology too, cameraman?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, that's mean.
Yeah, right? I mean, I was just trying to do my job.
You have a beautiful face, Garrett. You do not look anything like a possum.
Well, thank you, Stu. I appreciate it. I mean, I was just trying to do my job. I realize I may annoy them, but I mean, I didn't really think that was a reason for Coffin to be a jerk.
Yeah,
you know?
that was like that was like Michael Cole level.
Yeah,
savagery.
I know.
It's mean.
But I mean, he was even a jerk to Z on camera.
How can you be a jerk to that man?
I don't know.
He's the captain of this jolly pirate ship.
I know.
That we call Disruption Network.
Oh, whatever.
I
don't know.
It's okay. It's all in the past, brah.
Yeah, I feel safe calling him a jerk here. It's not like he's gonna come here or do anything like. No, he's not gonna do it.
Yeah, well,
it's fine. Anyways,
do you think you should really antagonize him, though? I mean,
no, it's fine. What's he gonna do? I mean, come on.
All right.
Let's be honest here. Anyways,
moving on.
Okay. I think it's time. Maybe we should probably call the dark horse himself, Mr. Johnny Moran. What do you think?
I like having friends. This is cool.
Yeah?
Calling people. Yeah.
All right. Well,
not to sound like a noob or anything, but
let's give it a try. It's always the ring itself is always so loud.
This is like 1 out of 10 for Z volume.
I know, right?
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hey, what's going on?
Mr.
How's
Moran.
it going?
Good. How about yourselves?
Good. Garrett and Stu here. And we appreciate you taking the call. We're very excited to have you on.
No, I appreciate you guys having me.
That's cool. So one thing we definitely want to get to first right away before we dive deep into the interview into who Johnny Moran is, we got to say congratulations. You just became the champion.
Yeah, at New York. Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations. And you were also a PPW champion as well.
Right? I have both belts. They're kind of heavy, and I can't hold my phone and put both up. So here's your New York championship.
You can take turns with the belts. So there's the New York.
Take a bow.
And then PPW television championship right here.
TV belts are the best.
TV belts are the best. Stu and I were actually talking about this through text.
Yeah, I shared the NWA thing, how they're bringing TV title back. I'm so excited.
I know.
I love TV. I don't know why. They're just great.
So do I.
Yeah, they have an exclusive channel that's actually it's getting distributed pretty far around. They just got PPW just got into Washington D.C., so they're kind of all over the place. They film in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, and then once a year they do Scranton. But now their TV deal, I think they reached out to DC. They just posted about it like a month ago.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I gotta look into that more. I see a lot of because I stalk you guys on Facebook. I don't know if I've gotten to you yet, but I see a lot of it's PPW, right?
Yeah.
I see a lot of people sharing stuff about that, so I gotta check it out. See what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Mental note.
Yeah.
So let's get into. I definitely like to know how long have you been wrestling? Like where did everything start for you?
5 years I've been wrestling. I originally trained at Backbreakers Training Center.
Okay. And is that also down? Is that down in Pennsylvania? Or did you?
Yeah, that's in Scranton. Then from there I trained with John Trotsky at the Sanctuary. That's in Hazleton.
Okay.
And now I currently train with Tommy Swade and Mikey Whipwreck in Hazleton.
Nice. Awesome.
At the PPW school.
Fantastic. So you said you've been wrestling for 5 years now.
Yeah.
Were you always a fan of wrestling? Have you been watching it since you were little, like a lot of people, or was it something you came up on as you were older and you were like, oh my God, I have to do this? Or
no,
what was it for you? Like what drew you in?
Yeah, I've been a fan since I was a little kid, pretty much as long as I can remember. I had an older brother, James. that got into wrestling when there was like the big wrestling boom in the 80s. So I have like a ton of Saturday Night Main Events like on VHS tape and like Starcades from like 1987 before I was born.
Wow.
On VHS tapes. So
that's cool.
I remember like he would leave and stuff, and like he had all the like LJN big rubber figures and stuff he would let me like play with and stuff.
He was diehard then.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's got their own wrestling story, so it's always interesting to hear the wrestlers' take on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like the first match that like sticks out in my head is always Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man Randy Savage, Saturday Night Main Event, and James Buster Douglas is the ref. Like that's if I have to remember anything, like that match always sticks out.
Right.
And I always remember my first pay-per-view. It was WrestleMania 8. It was Macho Man and Ric Flair. After that match, I fell asleep, so I don't remember any. Like after that match, I don't remember. Like I know Hogan and Sid were the main, and the Ultimate Warrior came back, but like I don't remember anything after Savage and Ric Flair.
Yeah, that's awesome. So then obviously, yeah. What was then the final drive where you said, I'm doing this. I'm getting into wrestling. What was the step to? I mean, how old were you when you actually then started? Because I don't actually know how old you are. So I know you said 5 years, but
yeah. So I was 26, and I just got I was out of college for like 2 years, and I did competitive bodybuilding for a little bit.
Okay.
I didn't know there was a wrestling school around me. I knew that the Samoans were down in Allentown, which is like an hour away from me.
Right.
So I knew I knew you needed to be in shape. So like nothing against being Samoan trained or anything like that. I just knew that like the hour to get down there, an hour to get back, there's going to be like 2 or 3 days a week that I wouldn't be able to work out. And naturally, I have bad genes. Like, I have to work out 6 times a week to keep my physique. And if I don't work out, then you'll notice really quick. Right. And if I don't stick to my diet. So I had no clue that there was even a school in Scranton until I randomly one day just like Google searched wrestling schools. And I started out with one of my very close friends. His name's Mike Mitchell. He wrestles more in the PA scene. We've wrestled together as the Extra Guys and the Mighty Militia as tag teams. But I found the school with him. We both went there. We both trained there. And that's how it started out.
Awesome. So during training, so then how long until you had like your real first match, like in any type of event, like not, an exhibition, but like your first real match?
My first, we were lucky enough at the school I was at that we had student matches, and they would be right before like WWE's pay-per-views.
Okay.
So my first match would probably be within a year of me starting.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then my first actual to a promotion, because those were training center matches. We had 3 matches or 4 matches, and that was the show. People were there basically to watch the pay-per-views, and they just saw us wrestle.
Right.
But my first actual match was a tag team match, and it was actually at PPW. The owner of PPW reached out to me. His name's Anthony McKeegan. He goes by the character name TJ Masters, but he actually was the first promoter that ever reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to be on the show, and I was just like, wait, you're asking me? Shouldn't I be asking you? You know what I mean?
That's cool.
But I was lucky enough to get into PPW, you know what I mean? They called on me, and I've been there ever since.
That's awesome.
Now you got one of their belts.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a TV champ. That's amazing.
Yeah, we got Rob chatting in here, chiming in, saying he met you when you were part of the militia. So That was back at the beginning, right?
Yeah, or at least 2 or 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask, where did the nickname it's the Dark Horse, correct? Dark Horse,
Yeah.
Johnny Moran. Where'd you gather that from?
That came from, it started as almost a joke, because one of my close friends were just like, man, like, they caught, like, every promotion I was going to for a while, they were putting me in these, like, multi-man matches, and he was like, I never know if you're going to go out there and win or if you're going to be the one getting pinned. And he's like, you're almost like the Dark Horse. And at the time, I was looking for a new tagline, because, like, clearly the man is taken now and it'll forever be lost on my name.
Yeah.
You know? And then he literally drew me, not the graphic I use now, but, like, the first graphic I had for, like, a day, and he drew it with, like, my body and the horse head on it, and I was like, I can work with that. And then I sent it to a guy his name's Hiroto. He's over in Japan. He does graphics for, like, Impact, Ring of Honor.
All right.
And I sent him the one my buddy drew, and I was like, hey, can you make this, like, really, really good? And then he sent me the graphic that I use now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So, not to diminish any other wrestlers, but have you wrestled anyone where the match absolutely stood out? Like, do you have any favorite matches other than ones where you won titles?
Yeah. No, there's, like, a couple matches that always come to mind. I wrestle at Excellence Professional Wrestling. Also, that's in Sellersville, PA. They're currently moving to Copley, PA, but they're taking a break right now. But there, I wrestled Hollow Wicked from Chikara, and it's hands down the best match I've ever had. Like, anytime, like, I'm trying to get into a promotion or send my stuff out to people, that's the match I always send. There's also a match I had with Jason King where it was a hardcore match, and it was my first, like, main event match, and I remember being, like, just, like, so nervous in the back, and it's like a special one for me, because, like, after that I knew, like, I felt confident enough to be like, all right, I can handle a main event. There's also, I was in a 6-way match at PPW for the World Heavyweight title, and there was Sean Carr, Deshaun Pratt, Lance Anawahi, Mike Orlando was injured at the time, Casey Navarro, and myself all in it. It was, that one always stands out to me, because, like, I always, like, felt like I was never, like, getting in those matches with those guys, and to be in it with all of them and then hold my own in it. I also forgot Clutch Adams. He was in it too.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, do you have your own specific finisher that you happen to use? Because what we've seen a lot of you in ICW, you've been in a lot of multi-man matches, and a lot of times you don't always get to hit, like, a finisher, or if you do, there's a lot of people, so there's always a lot of stuff going on. Do you have a specific finisher or submission, or even just a, like, favorite? If you don't have your own certain.
Yeah, I use, as a finisher, I use the Widowmaker.
Okay.
Awesome.
So usually when I hit that, that's it.
Yeah.
There's no one's ever kicked out of it, put it that way.
Nice. Awesome. Do you have a favorite submission? Even if you don't use it, do you have? Yes.
What do you say?
The Cloverleaf.
Texas Cloverleaf?
Yeah.
Cloverleaf? Yeah.
I've been in that.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah.
When we were messing around at the YMCA in Rome, Roger put me in that, and he's not a small man, our friend Roger. No, especially, like, when we were in high school, and he just, like, pulled back. That's why I say don't try it at home. I'd never, when my friends used to mess with me, Garrett can attest to this, when I was younger, I would never tap out.
He would never.
Ever. Smallest dude. I tapped out that day.
Yeah.
Because I seriously thought, like, I broke my back.
It was terrible.
Good pick.
In the indies, obviously, we see a lot of people who were the big time wrestlers at one point usually make their way then back down. They get to mingle with basically just everyone in the indies, all the people at wrestling the shows, at the shows. Have you ever met anyone where you were just like, oh man, can I even talk? Like someone that shocked you? Were you like, how do I even talk to this guy? Like, has that ever happened to you?
I wouldn't say, like, it's weird. Like, I don't. Like, I don't get, like, starstruck anymore.
Right.
And I listened to a podcast where Jericho said he went into the WCW locker room and he saw, like, Hogan, Savage, Flair, and, like, he, like, walked out of the locker room, went in the bathroom, like, took a deep breath and was like, I'm one of them now. No matter what happens, I'm one of them. I'm equal with them. And I'm not saying by any means or any stretch of the means I'm equal with them. But, like, once you start, like, working and wrestling, like, not that they're not, like, great. Like, I still respect everyone. But, like, I would say one of my biggest idols ever was Ric Flair. Ric Flair shook my hand and we talked for, like, I don't know, probably 20, 30 minutes at a show once. But, like, I wasn't, like, I can tell you
may have been with Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I can tell you the only time in my entire life that, well, like, this is the thing, too. Like, when I was younger, my grandmother always would say, like, they put on their pants one pant leg at a time, just like you.
Right.
And, like, that always stuck out to me. There's only been one time that I ever, like, got starstruck and couldn't speak. And it's weird because, like, in Scranton, a lot of, like, celebrities, like, visit here. Like, A-Rod and Derek Jeter both came to the bar I bounced at.
Oh,
had no problem talking to them, like, speaking with them. Like, I was their personal security that night, like, at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you guys remember a show, Robin Big.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I still watch Ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Big Black came to a bar that I was, like, out, and, like, I don't know why, but, like, I was just awestruck by him, and I'll never forget it. Like, he walked straight up to me and then walked right past me, and my cousin, like, slapped me and was like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I words wouldn't come out of my mouth. I tried to say hi. And, like, that's the only time that's ever happened, and I always goof on that because it's just like, he was literally just a regular security bodyguard guy. Like, there's nothing, like, crazy, you know.
Right.
You know, he's not in, like, movies that I've seen or anything like that. But, like, I was completely, like, starstruck, couldn't speak, couldn't say a word. It was the weirdest thing ever.
That's great.
But, like, the other thing is, too, like, I've wrestled a lot of names. Like, I've wrestled the Rock and Roll Express. Mm-hmm. I've been in there with Scotty 2 Hotty and Gangrel, Glacier, Raven, Shane Douglas. Like, when I was a kid, like, I idolized Shane Douglas. Like, when I was a little kid, like, when we used to wrestle in my basement as, like, little kids, like, I used to call myself the franchise because of Shane Douglas. And my third match, I'm teaming with the guy. So, like, I always knew in the back of my head, I always knew, like, if you, like, you know, act like a fanboy, you're going to be labeled as, like, oh, this kid doesn't know what he's doing. He's a fanboy.
Right. Right.
So I never really got starstruck, but, like, I remember the first time I met Shane, I was kind of like, oh, wow, this is really happening. Like, this is, like, that match, like, it was the only match my dad ever saw before he died. So, like, well, I didn't know that at the time. So, but, like, my whole family was there. It was in the CYC in Scranton where, like, I saw WWF as a kid. So, like, that match, I remember leaving that building and just being like, I'm a wrestler now. Like, that day, like, Ken Anderson, like, watched our match. He pulled us aside and told us everything about our match. Shane spoke to us for an hour after our match. Like, it was all around like a good experience. Yeah. And like, I always tell people like you have to respect everyone that you're in there with, no matter if they've been on WrestleMania or if they've only done local indies or like maybe this is their third match. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. Like, they're still a person at the end of the day. So I just try to take that when I go into the ring, or even when I'm meeting someone, you know.
Yeah, that's
good way to be about it. That sounds like it was definitely a pivotal moment in your career.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So then, speaking of, or going back to ICW, we didn't get to see you for a while. There was an incident, essentially. I actually caught it on camera. So I followed ISIS out, and what no one knew at the time, including you, was that Rick Recon had been taken out by Bin Hamid. It was obviously apparent that you found him, but when I walked out, when ISIS went out with the camera behind him, you were the only one standing over him, and ISIS suspended you. So anyone who follows ICW, everyone knows, everything that was happening with that. Even when you were scheduled to come back, you didn't want to come back until he offered you an apology, and he didn't even want to be in the ring or do anything like even close to an apology until the very last show at Ring Wars. So, obviously, it was very clear what your feelings were, but do you want to take us back through that at all, or?
Yeah, I mean, it really was just an abuse of power.
Right.
And now all of a sudden he just goes ahead and hauls off and hits me. And then Mike King all of a sudden just instates him as a wrestler. Like, the whole situation, everybody's portraying me as the bad guy, but really I'm a guy that's in the wrong scenario. Like, I walk outside, Rick Recon's down on the ground with a bag of luggage on top of him. I'm literally lifting up the bag of luggage that you caught on film. And what does ISIS do? He sees me and Rick Recon commenting back and forth on Facebook on each other, because we don't really like each other. And we were going back and forth on Facebook, and he put something stupid up, so I replied to it. And all of a sudden, ISIS thinks I attacked him. And then we come to find out, as I'm screaming in his face, that it wasn't me. And then all I asked for is for him to publicly apologize to me, and then he no-shows that.
Right.
So, that's fine. But, the only thing I'll admit to is, my emotions got the best of me when he wouldn't apologize to me. And yeah, I shoved him. But did I strike him? No, I shoved him.
Right.
And then he abuses his power again, and he attacks me. I'm not going to punch him as, the general manager like he was. But now, all he's done, and here's the other thing, Mike King, they both want to come at me, but now he's going to get hurt. At the end of the day, ISIS is going to get hurt when he gets in the ring with me. And that's all that's going to happen.
Right.
And now it's on Mike King. If you really want to look at who you can point the finger at, it's going to be Mike King, because at the end of the day, I'm going to hurt ISIS. And now you aren't going to have a GM, and now you're not going to have a wrestler in the ring either.
Right.
So you're going to lose out on two things. You should have kept him as a GM, maybe suspend him for a little while, because he's abusing his power. Clearly he doesn't know what's going on. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's better off he's not in the Mortal Championship wrestling. I don't know.
Right.
Valid point.
Yeah. I mean, that did get serious. I'd say 3/4 of the locker room cleared out to hold. There was at least 10 guys holding you back. It was crazy.
Well, yeah, obviously there had to be 10 guys holding me back, because if I got to him, it would have been over.
It was nuts.
But here's the thing. Like, was I expecting him to hit me? No.
Right. Who would expect to get hit by their boss? So.
Yeah, I mean, right there.
Much expected. So, but like you said, now you guys have a match in February, and he's been a GM for a while. So, here you are. You're a champion in two companies. So,
yeah.
What you said has to be taken seriously. ISIS could be getting hurt here. So.
Exactly. And that's the thing that Mike King isn't looking out for. If he's really looking out for ISIS's best, interest, which I don't think he is, because he's putting him in a ring with me. And now he's going to get hurt.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are some words that maybe ISIS should be paying attention to.
We'll definitely find out in February.
Absolutely.
Come hell or high water.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up here. Mr. Moran, we definitely appreciate you taking our call.
Absolutely.
Very happy to have you on. And hopefully I can get a touch base with you again here before the show in February.
Oh, of course.
And yeah, we'll talk to you then.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you again.
All right. See ya.
All right. Bye.
Got to wrestle with the franchise Shane Douglas on his third match.
Amazing.
I wanted to ask him, say, I know you can't fanboy, but did you at least do a Pittsburgh plunge on somebody? Come on, Fisherman's Buster, bro.
Right.
See, that's why I couldn't be a wrestler, besides the fact that, I weigh next to nothing, and I'm tiny. Whatever, I'm feisty. But, because I would fanboy.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, that's Ric Flair.
Oh
my God, that's Chris Jericho. Like, I'd be like.
Yeah, I can't say that I've ever, I have, peeked into a locker room at the back of, an ICW show or whatever.
Right.
But there's a lot of camaraderie.
Right.
It's I like that. That's why I find punk music fascinating. Not saying I'm the biggest fan,
right.
Whatever. Ant's got me on that one. Yeah. But I just like the brotherhood, the camaraderie. It's got an interesting subculture. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so tonight there's a lot happening on TV.
Last NXT and last AEW.
All right.
Of the year.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're not doing new ones?
Mm-hmm.
For Christmas and New Year's?
New Year's, yeah, of the year.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, the last one before Christmas.
Right.
And the holiday, because Vince has given people time off.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
That's why they taped the next week of Raw.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. I don't believe I'm mistaken.
Wow,
if there's anyone watching that can tell me if I'm mistaken,
yeah,
that'd be awesome. But, yeah, that's why they're going so hard with the matches tonight.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with AEW.
Okay.
AEW, you were explaining all of this to me earlier. So they're actually going really head-to-head tonight.
Oh, yes.
So let's run down AEW quick first, and then we'll hop over to NXT.
All right, so to start AEW, they're going to be doing the Lucha Brothers versus Kenny Omega and Adam Page.
Okay.
Which I guess Omega and Page tagged last week against Shawn Spears and somebody else I'm not recalling off the top of my head. And Kenny Omega hit the V trigger.
Okay.
And looked like he was going to get the pin. But Page made a blind tag, came in, got the pin after, I believe, the buckshot lariat.
Okay.
And you could see Kenny kind of looking around like, I'm pretty sure I had that under control. So I think they're building something with that.
Okay.
Which would be interesting since, obviously, they brought Adam Page in to be their kind of the new face of wrestling, I think, is what they were originally going for. And in my opinion, the crowd didn't take to it, so now they're going to try something different, which is awesome. But it's going to have no commercial breaks.
Okay.
And the reason they're doing that, and we're talking AEW, but NXT is having the Finn Balor Adam Cole match first to try to win the opening quarter.
Right.
Which usually goes to AEW. And they're doing that with no commercials or limited commercials.
Right.
So you got Finn Balor, not Raw or SmackDown Finn Balor. You got Finn Balor, NXT Finn Balor, versus Adam Cole for the NXT title. No commercials or limited, whatever they're doing.
I think it's no commercials.
Versus the Lucha Brothers, Kenny Omega and Adam Page. No commercials. Which one would you watch?
I mean, I'm watching
I know.
Balor and Cole.
Yeah, me too, just because.
NXT, I mean, I think everyone, when you look at the whole NXT card, I kind of think you have to look and you know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, it's still Cole.
I want to see that
Balor.
match.
Regardless, it's still Cole and Balor.
Yeah, I definitely want.
Yeah.
Thankfully, in this day and age, we can just go watch the other one later.
Right.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Very easy to.
But also, according to, where the hell am I? ProWrestlingNewsHub.com, the rest of the card looks as besides tag match, you're going to have Awesome Kong versus To Be Announced.
Oh, okay.
All right. Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin versus the Butcher and the Blade with the bunny, because the Butcher and the Blade debuted last week and beat Cody and Marshall, QT Marshall. So that feud's going on. Chris Statlander versus Britt Baker, which is the number one contenders match for the AEW Women's Championship. Jericho versus Jungle Boy in a not entitled 10-minute time limit match, because Jericho doesn't think Jungle Boy can apparently hang with him for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see.
Oh, Jericho is fire, but I'll get to that later on in the show. And then definitely, I imagine this or Jericho versus Jungle Boy has got to be the main event. I imagine this is Young Bucks versus SCU for the tag belts.
Okay.
So that's pretty stacked card.
Yeah. All right. So then hop over to NXT. We're already talking about the very first match is going to be the commercial-free title match, Cole versus Balor. So we have that.
And then the only other match announced, as I look at the actual WWE thing for it, is Baszler versus Ripley for the NXT Women's title. I would imagine that has to main event.
Yeah, that's definitely going to main event. If you're going to have two title matches, that's definitely going to main event. I don't know what else they're going to do with maybe those two big matches. Maybe they'll stick with some of their other bigger people.
I think Balor and Cole will probably go a good amount of time.
At least a half hour, you think, right?
I don't know.
I mean,
they might say that for a takeover somewhere down the line.
Yeah, but I mean,
for a TV match, I could see it going 20.
Yeah, because it's going to be a title match and presented commercial free. So I think you got to push the boundaries.
Yeah.
I remember back in, Attitude Era.
Even after that.
There was a
SmackDown
opening segment that was 20 minutes long. And there was no commercial breaks. It was just 20 minutes of talking.
Yeah.
At the first, it was like McMahon and then Triple H and Rock, and it just all kept going. And it ended up being 20 minutes. There was no commercial. So to point it out, I feel like they're going to need to push the boundaries of it. So now,
who you got?
Maybe they'll have newer people on, since they're going to have a big show, to kind of try and get more people seen.
Yeah, they've been doing that.
A couple of the newer guys, but if they're going to do, I don't think Balor's going to win tonight. I think whether Cole wins clean or whether he cheats, I think he's going to walk away with it. And
I think we might have like a wonky ending.
Yeah, it's definitely going to end up with some type of weird ending. But I think tonight will be the night that Baszler loses, and what's her name?
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley takes the belt. I think that's happening. I think it's time. She's just still runs the same shtick. Yeah, everyone knows that she is super reality based. She's really kick ass. She'll choke you out. She'll beat you down. But anyone who could possibly beat her, her two chicks show up and it goes down, and it's the same, recycled type thing. Even when it's like, okay, well, she lost it before, so she's beatable. Now, Rhea Ripley is the person to do it.
Yeah,
to be honest. I mean, look at her.
Yep, because she can win it.
She can absolutely.
You can have her feud with a heel.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to have
with anybody.
If you're gonna have her be a baby face and defend it for a while, Io, Bianca, you're gonna have to give her some of those. I think then they should turn Rhea heel, because she was a good heel in NXT UK.
Right.
What I mean?
Even the thing is now, the way she plays it with her attitude, it's like, yeah, she's going against heels, but she's not nice.
No, she's definitely a bully.
Yeah, she's
definitely a baby face.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
She plays it like a tweener,
Fantasy booking time?
Yeah.
Okay. Because they're going to, I imagine at Royal Rumble, they have to do this Becky Lynch versus Asuka thing.
Okay.
Because they've been building that. And Becky lost to Asuka last Royal Rumble, then entered the Rumble, won WrestleMania, boom, the man is born. Right. So she keeps saying this is something she's got to do. So I think that happens. Shayna has lost the belt. You know how the Royal Rumble's set up this year, right? 10 from Raw, 10 from SmackDown, 10 from NXT.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think that's going to make it better.
Oh, that just got me tingling in my happy place.
Got rid of, I think it'll cut down on the guest appearances. I still think there will be surprise appearances.
That's fine, though, but it's fine.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's fine because I still think a Raw or SmackDown person will win the men's Royal Rumble, a female. 10 NXT, Baszler.
Yeah.
Becky retains against Asuka. Baszler wins the Rumble, WrestleMania, Becky and Baszler.
Yeah.
And then have Ronda come back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
Maybe.
awesome.
At least Becky versus Baszler.
Right.
That'd make me happy.
That would be awesome. Good call, Sue. I like that's a solid call.
Well, other people have said it too, but I mean,
yeah, but
just makes sense.
Yeah, but it's a solid call. All right, 650.
650 already?
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Well, that too.
Time flies when I spend it with you.
Shucky darns. I think it's time for our top 5.
I think it is too.
Final top 5 of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I'll go first this week.
Okay, I was actually going to say, how about you go first?
So,
because you're the pirate captain of this crazy.
Yeah. So the best things that happened overall, generally, in 2019 in wrestling. Number 5, NWA on YouTube. I think it's different. It's this odd type of like fresh and new mixed with old that's just done correctly.
There's definitely an audience for it.
Yeah. By the way, I don't have Disruption Network up. I have Wrestle Fandom up.
Mm-hmm.
You have Disruption?
I do.
Perfect. So if anyone comments, let me know.
Oh, yeah. By the way, hi, Eric Furlow.
Oh.
Yep.
Said what's up?
Yep. He said, what's up, gentlemen?
Oh,
I liked it. Yep.
I miss you, buddy. What's up?
Yeah.
Anyways, so yes, NWA on YouTube. It's an hour. It's on YouTube. It's just cool. It's I don't know how else to describe it. Tom Borges was totally right. It's great.
I still have yet to check it out. Like it pops up on my YouTube. I mean,
yeah,
my search engine is a lot of wrestling stuff. So
it's just cool. They actually just had a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I think it was Into the Fire.
Continue. I'm sorry.
What?
I was gonna say, is Nick Aldis still their champ?
Nick Aldis is still their champ.
Nice.
He went against
Brutus Magnus.
Yeah. He went against James Storm.
Nice. Oh yeah. I saw that.
Best 2 out of 3. Nick Aldis retained. So, and I know, but the national championship, they're like mid card. That changed hands. I don't remember the guy's name. I'm sorry.
Okay. I can look it up
because I'm terrible with names.
It's all
right. Number 4, Impact Wrestling, not in general, but Tessa Blanchard wrestling dudes and winning.
Mm-hmm.
Not winning because it legit looks like she gets out there and handles business.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. It's cool. She's not shaped like China or awesome. She's in fantastic shape, obviously, but she gets herself into situations and handles what, like that reversal she did. Was it on Cage? Where she won? Sure. I think it was the reversal she did on Cage. Where he tried to hit her with a finisher, and she, and then she ended up like pinning him, and she became the number 1 contender.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing,
mm-hmm.
That it's just fantastic. I think it's smart. I think it's innovative in a time where a lot of people's sensitive and feelings seem to get hurt real easy. Sometimes even in wrestling, where you think that wouldn't so much apply. I don't hear anyone complain about it. Maybe I'm not listening to the right spots or hearing.
It's there's a lot of sides to it. There's people that just think that they shouldn't wrestle because men hitting women, like a WWE reasoning. Right. There's people that, because it's not believable, whatever. Listen, she could kick my ass. Probably kick the ass of half the people that say that shit. So
everyone who says that she shouldn't be in that ring couldn't get in the ring with her.
Bro, her dad is Tully Blanchard, which means one of her uncles is Arn Anderson. And that man will stab you with a pair of scissors, allegedly.
Right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Tom just mentioned something about Into the Fire. Aldis turned heel, and formed a new team. So
awesome.
That's cool.
I gotta check it out. I really do.
I'll watch or I'll review more of it. I kind of just skimmed who won the matches. And
I've been slacking,
and then that was it.
Speaking of YouTube shows, I've been slacking on watching my AEW Dark.
Oh, the Dark, yeah. Number 3, putting NXT putting all of the gold on undisputed era via Strong finally getting a singles title. The two things combined. One, Strong finally getting a singles title he absolutely deserves.
Yep.
And two, having all of the gold on undisputed era, just genius. It, obviously they've done it with other companies.
Yep. NWO did it.
NWO.
DX didn't have all the gold, but
I don't think they did. They had, I think
everyone in their squad did.
Yeah.
When it was both iterations, I think.
Yeah.
I know Sean had the world, and then Trips was with the European for a while there.
Yeah. What was the Ric Flair and Triple H? What was the name of that?
Evolution.
Oh yeah. Evolution held all the time at one point. Just stuff like that. Obviously, they're gonna do it. I just think it was very smart for them to do it down in NXT. Number 2, any and all everything about AEW. Just
everything?
Well, not everything, but just coming into being, launching when they did, being on TV, having Jericho as their champ, the way they're doing some of the stories, obviously, like a lot of the main people who formed it aren't immediately on top. That's very smart and not, how do I want to say it, Hogan-ish.
Yeah.
Of
course they're going to win titles at some
eventually.
point. Of course.
And as
SCU is going to win tonight.
Yeah.
I think.
Right.
I would imagine. I'd hope.
Yeah. But having a lot of other companies that are available to watch, I think that's one of the
New Japan, man, NWA, Impact.
It's one of
Ring of Honor, even
back to number 4. I think that's why Impact is doing that with Tessa Blanchard, because that will help. That no one else is doing that.
Wrestling's kind of relevant now
to do that, and especially if she was to go back and now beat, because they wrestled before. So if she actually wrestles Sami Callihan and wins, and she's the first female to hold the Impact Championship,
be dope.
That's going to be everywhere, and that'd be smart. So back to AEW. Just having all these other companies to watch. I mean, people say, "Oh, I don't watch WWE," but it's still this giant conglomerate that, destroys any and all. But now
it's the war machine.
Yeah,
it rolls on.
Now in today's day and age, there's even more now. Now there's a big time show on. There's AEW. You watch NWA, and
that's why it's all good.
New Japan, so. And like Johnny Moran was talking about, you can even watch PPW. They're getting TV stuff. So there's just so much going on. But speaking of TV, NXT on TV, number 1.
Okay.
Putting NXT on TV, I think, was very smart. Did I have little doubts or fears that, oh no, it's going to turn into the show where it's going to turn into a third, the C show? Obviously, yeah, I don't want them to do that, but they launched it at the right time of the year to stay up. Survivor Series came along and they reigned. It's Triple H is still in charge for everything that I know about it. So as long as he remains in charge of that show, it'll do fine.
I think he's starting to build his group behind the scenes too to take over when I don't know when Vince is going to give up the reins. I don't know. People are saying maybe when the XFL tries to get rebranded, but who knows if that's going to be successful. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I think he's starting to.
If he hands over all of the creative to Triple H, it would. I mean, if you look at NXT and then look at what he could then do with all of that, all the ideas that he has.
I bet you the word wrestling isn't banned anymore.
It would destroy, utterly destroy. If it's like, here you go, you guys, it's your guys's. He'd rule. It'd be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
time for you
to keep with that. Number 5, kind of the same thing. NXT exposure.
Right.
Just more exposure. Like with the whole Survivor Series thing, making them look strong, putting them over. Awesome. Smart, too, because the reason they put him on TV, let's just be real here, was because of AEW. I think they sped up that timetable really a lot to get him on against AEW.
Right.
So putting them over at Survivor Series is smart because it makes them look dope, meaning if they're better than Raw and SmackDown, then they got to be better than everybody else.
Right.
You were doing this.
Yes. I think it's smart that NXT was the show.
Mm-hmm.
And not, all right, we're going to move
Raw or SmackDown.
We're going to move SmackDown.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To Wednesday
Oh, yeah.
to Battle because they would just lose.
Oh, yeah. I think
they
so.
just lose to
Mm-hmm.
AEW. To have the new, fresh show to go from 1 hour to 2 and be on TV and be totally like the same and yet new is, it was smart.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to interject. Continue.
Oh, sorry. We also talk about him quite a bit. Jericho, in general, just Chris Jericho. If we do, I don't know what our 2019 lists are going to be when we come back next year.
We'll discuss it in the next couple weeks.
If it's going to be like best wrestlers, I'm sorry about that. But just him in general as a character.
That's what. Yeah.
Even before they're on TV, like watching the stuff on YouTube, like the weekly stuff. Seeing him take out QT Marshall, sitting at Cody's desk with his boots up on his desk and everything, eating an apple. And everything he's doing now, he's putting over a lot of young talent. Tonight, for instance, Jungle Boy. You know he's going to get that boy over more so than he already is.
Right.
So, and he actually had a conversation with the locker room because one of the big digs on AEW was, like, in their matches, like Lucha Bros especially, not making tags. Right. Like, no one, that's not believable because if you undermine the ref, then there's no authority figure. So,
right.
So he's being the locker room leader. He's very entertaining. He's the GOAT. Fight me.
He is the GOAT.
And him.
Yeah.
It was also one of my top 5 worst things was The Fiend and how they've handled The Fiend.
Right.
So he's also on my top 5 for best things because The Fiend, his debut, like the build and the build and the build, which I initially, when I first...
He showed up in the ring with a mask on, like when you came in fanboying about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome.
And the build to it. Because when I first saw the first vignette, I saw just a clipped version on YouTube, like right when I got home, like, oh, what the hell are they doing with this? But then, I don't know, it sucked me in. It was great. It was one of the best entrances, by the way, that I've seen in quite a long time. And so, yeah, his debut was amazing.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Bryan, just in general as well, because he came back. This originally was going to be Kofi winning at WrestleMania, but I just went, you know what?
God, I can't believe I forgot to say that.
Just Daniel Bryan in general, because he had a huge bit to do with that, obviously.
Okay.
Because Kofi winning is great. What's up?
Can I shift everything back and say number 1 is Kofi winning?
Whatever you want, bud.
I forgot about that.
It's all right.
I was trying to think of like big overall things. Yeah, you know what? I'll save that for next. No, leave my thing.
Okay.
I'll save it for my thing.
But,
I don't know how I didn't. Yeah.
I mean, Kofi winning the belt is awesome because everyone loves that story. You know,
Right.
the underdog, been doing it for forever. I mean, Daniel Bryan did it. They did it with Chris Benoit.
Right.
They've done it with a lot of people. And it's great. But Daniel Bryan being the heel, because he can make anything work.
You really can't.
It was a very good program. He did the Roman Reigns, like who attacked Roman Reigns. That was awful, in my opinion, except for Daniel Bryan somehow made it work.
Right.
Because he turns shit into just beautiful shit.
Right.
All right. You take stinky poop and he makes it great poop. Okay. If they put him
Knows
in
how to work.
if they put Daniel Bryan in this Lana Rusev angle, he could probably make that dog shit work.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. So
Which is fine for Lana and Lashley, but Rusev deserves better.
Yeah.
I don't care about Lashley. I don't care about Lana. Rusev deserves better.
And then after Kofi, he did the tag with Rowan. He was in the tag scene for a little bit. They were champs. That was cool. Still a heel. And then just had a natural face shift because everyone wanted to see the Yes Men back. And he might even save them screwing up Bray Wyatt because he's involved with that. He just came back with the short hair, no beard, like old Daniel Bryan.
Right.
So, dope.
Yeah.
And number 1, sorry, just being back here. You know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. That's all that matters. I enjoy coming here every week.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
So you know. So that's actually the best thing about 2019 in wrestling.
Yeah.
For me. Mm-hmm.
Returning to the show.
Returning to the show, buddy.
That is the best thing. You're right.
Yeah.
Asterisk. Stu coming back to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Best thing.
Okay.
Yeah, buddy. Well, all right. That is.
I wouldn't cry.
That is 2019.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell for everybody. So we are taking off the next 2 weeks. And in 3 weeks when we come back, we are going to be having a little interview with some guy you might have heard of. Maybe he's the ICW champ right now.
Could be.
Maybe Sean Carr. It could be Sean Carr. It's Sean Carr. So we'll be...
Surprise!
Okay, so she enjoys listening to you.
Oh, thank you, Kate.
We're going to have Sean Carr on, and we will be doing our definitely more itemized awards of who did what in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So
hopefully we have Mr. Anthony back too.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a couple weeks. I'm sure he might be back by then.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll do that. It'll be fun, and we got some big things coming when we start back up. So 2020 is going to be a very good year for us.
It's gonna be acronym. I don't know. I couldn't think of a word.
It's gonna be big. 2020 is gonna be awesome. Hopefully, we're gonna have a lot of new stuff coming away, new content. Just even for Disruption Network, what you call it? They're gonna be launching a new podcast.
Yep, with
the Vinces are gonna be launching a podcast. That's gonna be awesome.
Yep, I told him welcome to the fold.
Yeah,
Rook.
Yeah, that's. I was like, hey, welcome.
Yeah.
Looks like we got to have a New Year's Eve party here at Bank of America. The Utica Police and Utica Fire Department are both putting it on. So it's Tuesday, December 31st, 7:30 p.m. 12:30 a.m. with fireworks at midnight. So that's going to be
ooh.
The Genesee Street, between Bank Place and Devereaux Street. So
you want to go?
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, probably not. No.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing New Year's Eve.
I'd love to. I got the little kiddies.
Yeah. Family time.
All house stuff.
I might make an appearance.
Do I want to go? Absolutely. I want to be at every single event that goes on around here and show my love and support.
I might.
But I got to handle some stuff.
Yeah, be a daddy
before I do any of that.
But, I'll rep, maybe, possibly. I gotta see what I'm doing.
But yes. So thank you for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a fantastic year.
Yes, sir.
A lot of good things happened here. A lot of good things happened in general.
Lots.
So yeah, we'd like to thank Immortal Championship Wrestling for the opportunity that they gave us, and we can't wait to work with them more in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Thank all of the sponsors. Make sure you support everything local. Like and share the show and everything on Disruption Network, and we will see everyone here on January 8th, 2020. Later.
Happy holidays.
Wrestle Fandom Radio, Disruption Network, Stu Garrett rated R, ZB on the set first, Utica, New York, them CNY wrestling fans, giving you results like attendance, heads are in the stands, rumors in advance, who's returning, who got injured, we're paying homage to the legends, knowing through the tenure, I had to spit it on wax, we give opinions and facts, all the latest updates, who was getting the strap, who was getting pushed, who was heating, who was cheating, who got buried for a top spot and who was leaving, what you think of TNA? What you think of the E? Who's the best in Ring of Honor? Who's in NXT? Also Lucha Underground and New Japan Pro. AAA in Mexico, you know this is the fan show. We do this for the love and show it locally. This is what a wrestling podcast's supposed to be. Disruption Networks, Wrestle Fandom Radio, reviewing the pay-per-views, talk about your favorite show, hear about who made the news, latest on the internet, what's a shoot and what's a work, who's the champ's biggest threat. Disruption Networks, Wrestle Fandom Radio, reviewing the pay-per-views, talk about your favorite show, hear about who made the news, latest on the internet, what's it worth? Who's the champ's biggest threat? Do you hate Roman Reigns? Who's the best in the Shield? Will John Cena eventually end up turning the heel? We Young Bucks and Bullet Club, and I'm signing with Vince. World Wrestling Entertainment, dotted line on the Prince. So Kenny Omega make his debut in the States, taking AJ's title, grave his name on the plate. So Jericho retire, who will ever beat Brock Lesnar? Will he re-sign? Who will be his top contender? Will CM Punk return again for one more match? Maybe headline WrestleMania for one more strap? Maybe HBK, you could keep Ric Flair. Finally get the 1, 2, 3 with a pin over Taker. Will Daniel Bryan stay being cleared to compete? Will they break Asuka's streak? Is she fearing defeat? So many questions to be answered. Got the 411 Wrestle Fandom Radio, and there's a lot more to come. Check us out. Disruption Network, Wrestle Fandom Radio, reviewing the pay-per-views. Talk about your favorite show. Hear about who made the news. Latest on the internet. What's the shooter? What's it worth? Who's the champ's biggest threat?
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broken everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up DisruptionNetwork.net and check out our events calendar, brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at DisruptionNetwork.net.